Last lap of diplomatic shuttle. President Tinubu meets Brazilian counterpart. Drug war. The innocent off the hook. The guilty trapped.
All the bags were traced to one Ali Abubakar Mohammed, alias Bello Karama.
Sailing to sell more. New NTA DG charts new course.
The vision is to be able to transform NTA digitally, and I've seen enough equipment on ground. Though we need to actually upgrade a few and make it more relevant to the modern broadcast era.
Hello and welcome to the Network News on NTA. I'm Naja'atu Tijani. Joining me tonight on our usual segments, Musa Abubakar on the business beat and Ayo DG Makinde with sports action. Musa?
Equities market begin the week in positive territory as NMPC says crude oil theft almost wiped out after security push.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Musa. Ayo, what's happening in the world of sports?
Well, barely 48 hours after Nigeria's first medal in World Aquatics Championship, two prospects are set for a training schedule in a big way.
Well, we look forward to the details and remember that this broadcast is being streamed live on our website, nta.ng/live. Don't worry about missing any part of the bulletin as you will catch the replay on our YouTube channel. Do follow us across social media as well. Our handles are displayed on the screen. And stick around to meet our new DG and management. But first, diplomatic news. Nigeria and Brazil have taken a major decision to reinforce bilateral cooperation with agreements signed in 5 major areas of collaboration. President Bola Tinubu and his Brazilian counterpart, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, both expressed readiness to grow the relationship for the prosperity of both countries. Following episodes of bilateral engagements in the last 1 year, agreements were signed in aviation, capacity building of diplomats, political consultation on bilateral of common interest, cooperation in science, technology and innovation, as well as cooperation between banks of agriculture of both countries to promote trade and investment. Focusing on technology and knowledge transfer in manufacturing, both leaders believe their countries will henceforth harness their resources to grow their economies and peoples. Joining us live via Zoom from Brasilia, Nigeria's Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, for more on the bilateral agreements with Brazil, among other issues arising from President Tinubu's visit. Thank you for joining NTA News.
Thank you, Naja'atu. Good to be here.
Thank you, sir. Can we start with what both countries stand to achieve with deepening ties? Why is this important, especially as both leaders have met 4 times since President Tinubu came in?
Well, first and foremost, you underscore the importance of it. This is the 4th time both leaders are meeting. The first one was in Nairobi, Kenya. Of course, on the invitation of President Lula, President Tinubu was here in Brazil for the leadership of the G20 meeting. That was in November 2024. Subsequently, they met at the BRICS summit. Recall that Nigeria, though not a member of BRICS as it were, but it's a strategic partner of the BRICS community. And then today, the grand meeting between the two leaders. It was really a moment of shared history, of recollection of the journey so far, 350 years of slave journey between Africa and Brazil. And so for President Lula, this is a moment for Africa and Nigeria to reconnect, to come together once again. It's a region shared, separated only by the Atlantic. And then, of course, coming here is even a very difficult journey, 24, 25 hours or more to come here. So one of the agreements speaks to the need for them to have the restoration of bilateral air service agreement. This has led to one of the carriers from Nigeria, Air Peace, to shuttle between Brazil and Nigeria, and also Caboton for air cargo, and vice versa. Of course, Brazilian airliners are also permitted to also go to Nigeria. Of course, details are being worked out, but there is a symbolism in that. Indeed, the management of Air Peace is transporting some of the officials from Nigeria back to Lagos and then subsequently to Abuja to symbolize the beginning of that reconnection between Brazil and Nigeria. Of course, you mentioned also other areas of bilateral agreement in science and technology, in bilateral issues, in the health sector, in agriculture. A lot of issues were discussed. This is a very comprehensive visit. And in about 3 hours, the summary of it all is that Nigeria and Brazil have, come together. Remember, also they have a common history. Of course, the two countries are the major black nations on earth. They have a population almost similar to each other. Our culture, our music, our arts, so many similarities. Of course, so many years of disconnection between these two countries. And so the leaders have taken a position to come together to reconnect these countries. I think this is going to be important for Nigeria. Know that since President Bola Ahmed Tinubu took office, he has embarked on a series of reforms, removal of fuel subsidy, unification of the exchange rate, new tax regime. Brazil is also embarking on a new tax regime. So much similarity. And I think that both countries will now have the opportunity to lead the world, so to say, if they come together. And I want to emphasize that the meeting here is not just for Nigeria and Brazil. It is in a way also the re-engagement of Africa and Brazil through common history, common culture, and a lot of areas of collaboration. We believe that this will indeed be the signpost of the beginning of bigger relationship between the two nations and between Africa and Brazil as a whole.
So you've touched on reconnection, of course, and deepening ties. Now let's quickly talk about what to expect as soon as the president returns. Like, for instance, the Green Initiative expected to create more than 100,000 jobs. Care to tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, indeed. This is an investment in agriculture. Of course, in the last meeting between Nigeria and Brazil, and recall also that even after the last engagement between the two presidents, a delegation led by the Vice President of Brazil was in Abuja. He had meetings with his Nigerian counterpart, Vice President Kashim Shettima. He also met with Nigerian officials. Some of the Nigerian officials were also engaged with their Brazilian counterparts, the Ministers of Aviation, Minister of Livestock Development, Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Education, Minister of Health. They've all come together, met once or twice since that last meeting. So what this means is that there's now going to be a kickstart of the way forward. First, in the area of aviation, I've just told you that there is a symbolism in the flight that AIP is going to undertake between Brasilia here, the administrative capital, and Abuja. This will signpost the beginning of the air connection. 7 hours will connect Nigeria and Brazil instead of the former method of going around the world, sometimes 24 hours, sometimes more than that, to come to Brazil and vice versa. So that's again in that direction. The agricultural investment that Brazil is going to do. Remember that Brazil is a leader in the world in terms of livestock development, in terms of poultry production. They have also undertaken to do such investments in Nigeria. And this will, of course, give Nigerians an opportunity to employ over 100,000 people directly and a lot more than that indirectly. So, yes, there are a lot of areas of collaboration between the two countries, but I think that Nigeria stands to get enormously from that. President Bola Tinubu's reforms are indeed working. He's taking them country to country, and we are seeing the next bus stop here today in Brazil. And this indeed will create greater opportunities for both nations, especially for our teeming youth population in Nigeria.
Thank you very much, sir. I've been speaking with the Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, on the President's visit to Brazil and agreements reached. Thank you very much for offering such insight.
Thank you for having me.
And still on strengthening ties, Nigeria is also doing this in peacekeeping missions, deepening cooperation and making an impression and defense institutions to speak with one voice. President Bola Tinubu, represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, emphasized this at the opening of the African Chiefs of Defense Summit 2025 in Abuja. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
African Chiefs of Defense Staff are in Abuja to discuss ways of combating contemporary threats to regional peace and security within the continent, with collaboration in strategic defense top on the agenda.
The nature of warfare has evolved. The threats of today are asymmetric, digital, and often invisible. Our response must not be less dynamic. We must invest in cyber defense, artificial intelligence, and indigenous military innovation. Africa cannot remain merely a consumer of technology. We must be creators, innovators, and owners of the tools that secure our tomorrow. I therefore urge this summit to explore avenues for defense industrial cooperation, collaboration, research partnerships, and African-led solutions to African security challenges.
Today, 9 of the world's top 15 contributors of UN peacekeeping are African nations, African troops, all active in Somalia, in CAR, and the DRC. So we are not only recipients of support from the international community, we are contributors of that support. And without African leadership, there would be no effective peacekeeping.
Il faut lui demander doublement où en Afrique. Il dira le pays.
Nigeria ready to explore areas of collaborations, and this platform is expected to provide opportunities to share intelligence, border safety management, regional stability and security, with plenary sessions on border management and regional security in Africa, challenges and prospects.
This summit reflects our belief that no single country can secure the continent alone. We must work together, sharing intelligence, aligning doctrine, and building trust among defense institutions.
This gathering offers us a rare opportunity to forge a unified front. It is a platform to harmonize our doctrines, strengthen interoperability, and build enduring trust among our defense institutions. We must therefore seize this opportunity to craft a new architecture of African-led security cooperation.
Combating terrorism in Africa, the imperative of strategic defense collaboration, and leveraging artificial intelligence for regional security in Africa, challenges and prospects are also part of the discourse. In Abuja, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
Meanwhile, security experts have described the Maiden Chiefs of Defense Staff Conference in Abuja as a critical platform to deepen cooperation among African militaries and upscale the development of indigenous military hardware. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the event also features an exhibition of locally produced equipment.
Now, what this does for the industry and for national security in the country and across the region is that it allows all the stakeholders who are active in the field, that's law enforcement and military and paramilitary, to come together and share their collective experiences, information about what they are facing in their individual countries.
This is the first of its kind. We expect that this event is going to offer real collaboration. You can see even some countries that are in Sahel, even though they are politically different, at the strategic level, that is what is important. The strategic military leaders always collaborate, and this is what has shown.
Now that we have taken the bull by the horn to forge a collective partnership, I believe that it will go a long way because we indigenize the equipment themselves.
The take home from an event like this is that we should look inwards to make sure that anything we're looking to protect the African sub-region is the responsibility is in our own hands, not in any other country's hands. So it is important for us all to be united.
Now let's talk empowerment and cooperation of a different kind. 500 women, all petty traders in Lagos State, are smiling all the way to get new supplies with the disbursement of business recapitalization grant of 50,000 naira each, courtesy of the collaboration between the Renewed Hope Initiative and the Tony Elumelu Foundation, with Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu calling for more collaboration and platforms to empower women. State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo reports.
At 62, Winifred Amanzi has transited from a life as a teacher to a petty trader selling melon seed, the most she could do in her condition. The business is small, but the desire to grow it is strong. She is one of the 500 women petty traders in Lagos who benefited from the provision of 50,000 naira business recapitalization grant by Renewed Hope Initiative and Tony Elumelu Foundation, along with a matching grant of another 50,000 naira by the state governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu.
Since they have given me this money, definitely instead of buying 2 paints, I will use it to add another 3. I will add another 3 paints. You understand? Making it 5. At least if I sell it, I will make a bigger profit. In fact, it's a renewed hope to me. It has worked. It's not that it's going to.
When a client asks you that, do you have this particular plate, and I say I do not have, they feel like, oh, sorry, we could not give you this job. So once I have this grant, I know that yes, it could just make me enlarge my business. It could make it get those things that I feel I want to get. And from there, I pick it up and now making the business much more broad.
In buying tools, I'm going to add to my tools, buy materials for hair, buy materials for pedicure, and also.
Represented at the ceremony by wife of Lagos State Governor Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu says, in the shared vision of building a prosperous Nigeria, there is a need to always collaborate and innovate for the empowerment of women.
This economic empowerment program is about supporting the entrepreneurial spirit of our women, traders and small-scale business owners who wake up each day determined to provide for their families, educate their children, and uplift their communities. Let me emphasize that this is not a loan, it is a grant and a seed of renewed hope to help you recapitalize your existing business.
It is a platform of hope, resilience, and opportunity. I urge you to embrace this support with determination, channel it into productive ventures, and become true ambassadors of women's empowerment.
A free medical outreach was held for the beneficiaries on the sidelines of the event. In Lagos, Adeni Taiwo, NTA.
It's time to meet NTA's new management. A new chapter has begun at the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, with the official assumption of seasoned media executive Rotimi Richard Pedro as Director General. Mr. Pedro takes the helm of Africa's largest television network with new executive directors following their appointment by President Bola Tinubu. Charles Alpha reports.
It's a dawning of a new era, and this media guru will lead the way, illuminating the path into new digital transformation that lies ahead. With a legacy of innovation and decades of experience in broadcasting and media rights, Rotimi Pedro steps into the role of Director General with a vision to modernize NTA and reposition it as a global force in public service broadcasting. After a brief meeting with the executive directors, he emerged, addressing senior NTA staff in a spirited meeting that laid out his ambitious roadmap for the organization's future. For a man who has had his media days with NTA, this is a familiar threshold. Understanding the gravity of the task for him means staff must understand that the digital landscape, repositioning it to adapt to the modern evolution, isn't just the only priority for the largest TV network. Scaling the desired skill set to evolve the revenue landscape, leveraging digital platform with the kind of asset that NTA possesses is a vision that staff must run with.
It's important that we understand the gravity of what we are faced with
The media landscape of today is transforming by the minute. The media delivery platform is changing by the minute as well. What's relevant today may not be relevant tomorrow. So NTA as a national asset needs to be up to the task. The society itself is changing. Cost of living these days is not what it was many years ago. So we're hoping that we will be able to look into the welfare a bit more and see how we can raise morale of the staff, everybody across board.
We all remain committed to ensuring that this vision is achieved because it's to the benefits of all of us.
With the new DG coming in at a time, NTA is upgrading its equipment for improved digital content. There are high hopes that this will mark a major turning point. The DG, Rotimi Pedro, after meeting with the senior staff, went immediately to inspect NTA's vast equipment.
So what I've just seen today just strengthens my belief in NTA's ability currently to be able to meet up with the challenges ahead. The vision is to be able to transform NTA digitally, and I've seen enough equipment on ground, though we need to actually upgrade a few and make it more relevant to the modern broadcast era. But there's a lot that I have seen today that gives me confidence that the vision of digital first can be accomplished.
Rotimi Pedro, a seasoned media entrepreneur and sports broadcast executive from Lagos State, is the founder of Optima Sports Management International, which distributed major events like the FIFA World Cup, UEFA Champions League, and the English Premier League across Africa. He replaces former DG NTA Saliu Abdul Hamid Dambos. He was not the only one that was appointed by President Bola Tinubu that assumed office here today. Karima Bello is the Executive Director of Marketing. The Executive Director News, Stella Dean Jacob, replaces former Executive Director Ayo Adewi, while Sophia Issa Mohammed is the Managing Director, NTA Enterprises Limited. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
Thank you, Charles. Welcome to our new DG and our new leadership. We'll take a break now. More reports in a moment.
32nd year of the...
This is the network news on NTA. Ambassador Umar Damagum has emerged the substantive party national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, while the presidential candidate of the party has been zoned to the southern region. Part of resolutions at the 102nd National Executive Committee meeting of the PDP held at the party's National Secretariat in Abuja. Dennis Adegoloye reports that the party also resolved to ensure that all members are on the same page ahead of the party's November National Convention.
PDP stalwarts converged on the party secretariat with seemingly renewed vigour and optimism as members took stock of the current state of affairs in the party. Following the meeting of the Board of Trustees came the National Executive Council meeting where the party faithful were admonished by the newly emerged substantive party national chairman, Ambassador Umar Damagum, to put the party first before all other interests. He said the party is at a critical juncture as it works towards the forthcoming elective national convention in Ibadan and builds momentum as the 2027 general elections approach.
Let us remember the PDP is bigger than individuals. It's also bigger than factions. It is bigger than any challenge. This 102nd NEC meeting must therefore mark a decisive step.
Damagum said the ongoing conversation about women empowerment is an issue at the forefront of the party's vision, as women have been the backbone of the PDP.
We are navigating and we are working very well. And of course, we will do our best to ensure that this party remains united.
National Publicity Secretary of the party, Debo Olugwangba, in a communique following the meeting, highlighted some key resolutions.
That the position of the national chairman having been retained in the northern region of the country, the presidential candidate of the party for the 2027 general election is hereby zoned to the southern region.
The NEC meeting also expressed satisfaction at the level of preparedness of the party and its various organs chapters and structures for the forthcoming convention, and also acknowledged the efforts and commitments of the PDP Governors Forum, the Board of Trustees, the NWC, and National Assembly Caucus towards the success of the forthcoming National Convention. In Abuja, Dennis Adegunloye, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the governing All Progressives Congress, APC, has described allegations of the opposition African Democratic Congress against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's silence over the Malumfashi killings in Katsina as malicious, insensitive and exploitative of cheap means to gain sympathy of the people. In a statement signed by APC National Publicity Secretary Felix Moka, the president has deployed substantial resources and given professional support to security forces to clamp down on all evil enterprises threatening the corporate existence of Nigeria and its people. It further urges the opposition to concentrate on constructive criticism rather than inciting people, as every Nigerian should be concerned about the sad incident, while putting the record straight on government's stance against agents of terror, evident in the recent killings of some terror kingpins in Niger State and other parts of the country. Let's pick up the pace with infrastructural development, beginning with Gombe State, where Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahya has assented to the act establishing 13 local council development areas in the state. Emmanuel Akila reports that after its conception, it took 2 weeks to complete the legislative process to pass the bill into law.
A bill which passes through normal and regular legislative processes for assent.
Though expeditiously, the Gombe State House of Assembly abide by the provisions of the law in passing the executive bill for the creation of the local council development areas. Shortly after signing the act into law, Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahya gave directives for immediate implementation of the provisions of the law.
I'm directing all local government councils and the new council development areas to concentrate their efforts and resources on 4 critical sectors that form the foundation of meaningful development at the grassroots level. They are security, basic education, primary health care, and agriculture.
The Local Council Development Areas Law, while at the floor of the Gombe State House of Assembly, appeared to be one of the popular and people-oriented executive bills. This is apparent with its accelerated passage into law.
When you bring government closer to the people, you expect development. So creating local councils definitely will improve the living condition of our people of the locality.
In Gombe, Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
Similarly, in Jigawa State, Governor Umar Namadi has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to ensuring infrastructural development, education, and youth empowerment with the launch of a multi-billion naira road project and other initiatives in Jahun local government area of the state. Muhammad Musa Askira reports.
Governor Umar Namadi has flagged off the construction, rehabilitation and maintenance of the Kwanar Idanduna, Kadawawa, Agangawa Nahuche, Kwanar Oloyinka 34.7 kilometer road in Jahun local government area. The project, valued at about 13 billion naira, is among the 48 road projects recently awarded across the state at a total cost of 304 billion naira, drawn from the 689.3 billion naira 2025 state budget. Alongside the chairman of Jahun local government area, Governor Namadi also launched an empowerment program for youth entrepreneurs aimed at boosting economic activities in the area. In the education sector, the governor earmarked over 2 billion naira for the upgrade of the College of Health Sciences, Jahun, to provide a more conducive environment for teaching and learning. Meanwhile, at the weekly government citizens engagement forum held in Jahun, Governor Namadi received a documented set of demands from elders and political stakeholders who commended his administration's pro-people policies and programs.
The program will have explained to the people, both from the state government, both from the member of the federal constituency, and also the local government chairman. The people show that they are happy and they are ready to continue to support APC. And this is the essence of this program.
Governor Namadi, who also received gifts from various groups, assured the people of Jigawa State that his leadership, aligned with that of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will not disappoint the Nigerian citizens. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
And from Jigawa State, we head to Sokoto, where the Rima River Basin Authority is urging the public not to panic over the release of water from Gwaranyo Dam. Managing Director of the Development Authority, Abubakar Malam, made the call while briefing newsmen on the recent release of water from the dam, assuring farmers, fishermen and canoe operators that there is no cause for alarm, as the authority is releasing water strictly in line with its 2025 action plan, guided by NIMET predictions on inflow and outflow. Gwaranyo Dam, with a holding capacity of 942 million cubic meters, he says, has been successfully managed by the authority.
Farmers, fishermen, canoe operators and other stakeholders that there is no cause for alarm with regard to daily water release from Gwaranyo Dam. The most important thing to do is to align their respective activities with our action plan and avoid erecting structures on waterways to safeguard against flooding and its attendant effects.
Gwaranyo Dam was first conceived by the administration of former President Shehu Shagari and completed in 1984 for the purpose of flood control and irrigation farming. Now let's talk a major breakthrough in Nigeria's fight against illicit drug trafficking, with the arrest of a 55-year-old drug kingpin and 5 members of his syndicate allegedly operating at the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport. Their arrest comes after investigations revealed their implication in the wrongful detention of 3 Nigerians performing Lesser Hajj in Jeddah. Salwa Ibrahim reports.
Criminal elements have taken a new dimension in perpetrating crimes. This time around, they have resorted to planting illicit substances into the baggages of unsuspecting travelers, an offense which carries death penalty in some countries. Just recently, 3 innocent Nigerians on Lesser Hajj to Saudi Arabia were implicated of drug trafficking. After receiving complaints from the victim's family, an investigation was launched to unravel the truth.
All the bags were traced to one Ali Abubakar Mohammed, alias Bello Karama, who is the leader of the syndicate who checked them into the Ethiopia airline on 6th of August 2025, while Ali traveled with the other 3 bags on Egypt here. On that note, the agency, armed with the outcome of its investigations into these 3 cases, is spearheading a dialogue with the authority of the General Directorate of Narcotics Control, that is GDNC in Saudi Arabia, to see that these innocent Nigerians, that is the 3 people detained in Saudi Arabia, are exonerated.
This recent development does not affect Nigeria and Saudi Arabia relations, but rather strengthen the common goal of ridding both countries of illicit drug trafficking. The NDLEA also says Nigeria will never abandon its citizens, especially those found to be innocent in any part of the world. The NDLEA is also advising Nigerians to be extra vigilant when traveling. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
On a lighter note, determined to showcase West Africa's rich traditions, creativity and culinary talents, Kiara Rice Mills Limited has hosted the largest live cooking show in celebration of World Jollof Day, bringing together foodies, talented cooks and music lovers from various parts of the Federation. Adejoke Odeka has details of the fun-filled day.
Beyond product quality, genuine customer engagement sets serious brands apart. And Kiara Rice Mills Limited put this into practice with the very first Kiara Jollof Fest, where talented cooks and food enthusiasts competed using their premium rice brands.
Hosting this event have turned out to be a more prouder feeling and a feeling of joy as we see in everyone's eyes over here, and how everyone have engaged themselves. Not only from Lagos, there have been participants and contestants all throughout the states of Nigeria.
We use different parts of our brands to help pick and select those winners. Also, the sampling that was done here, different types of rice, from Asun Jollof rice, the smoky Jollof rice, all those different types of rice were all prepared with different brands, different types of our brands.
For the grand finale of the Kiara cooking competition, featuring 8 competitors from 8 different states for the prize of 2 million naira, the judging criteria included taste and flavor, dullness and texture, creativity, originality, and overall impression.
The thing about using the Kiara rice brand, right, and showcasing it in such a way that you understand that this is a rice made for Nigerians. It's going around the country and also a cultural thing, you know, promoting that culture of jollof rice.
I feel really excited. I can't quantify how I feel. I feel deeply grateful to God, and I'm grateful for Kiara, because if they didn't organize this, I'll probably just be cooking my daily meals in Akure.
Kiara Rice Mills Limited is positioning itself as the rice of choice for jollof and everyday meals while celebrating Nigeria's culture and community, providing safe, nutritious, and affordable rice for households nationwide. In Lagos, Adejoke Odeka, NTA News.
Thank you, Adejoke. It's time for another break. Do stay tuned for more reports. This is the Network News on NTA. We're talking education. From crisis to catalyst, a new dawn is unfolding in Nigeria's education sector with the unveiling of a new digital portal by the Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, designed to transform teaching processes and integrate artificial intelligence into professional operations. Zenred Dingmun has more.
As the pillars of education, teachers often lament receiving the short end of the stick when it comes to personal and career development. Yet, in an ever-evolving world, their methods and operations must equally evolve to meet the needs of today's learners and align with global standards. In recognition of this necessity, the newly launched digital portal is designed as a central hub to transform how teachers work and build their skills.
No teacher, whether in public or private institution, will henceforth be employed without undergoing ethics screening and criminal background check.
At the center of this transformation stands our teachers, the custodian of knowledge, the nation builders, and the heroes shaping tomorrow's leaders.
Through the platform, Nigerian teachers can now register digitally, access vital professional development resources, connect with a wider community of educators, and gain data-driven insights to enhance classroom delivery.
We're also talking of where accredited trainers in Nigeria can register and get accredited. If you want a trainer for your school,
the technology, the resource centers that they are deploying in all schools, it has to be accessible to cater the need and aspiration on people with diverse special needs.
We look forward to doing more in collaboration to really boost the status of teachers and to boost teachers' motivation.
The ultimate goal is to ensure that only qualified, digitally competent and highly motivated professionals are licensed to teach in Nigeria. In Abuja, Zenred Dingmun, NTA News.
It's time now to join our business desk with Musa Abubakar. Musa, I wonder, does the business desk employ AI?
Well, AI is the end game right now. Well, let's start on the cherry news. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPC Limited, says pipeline theft has been nearly eradicated following joint operations by defense and intelligence agencies. Group Chief Executive Officer Bayo Ojulari told a regional security forum in Abuja that receipts from pipelines and terminals are now close to 100% compared with only 30% 3 years ago. He said the crackdown has strengthened security in the Niger Delta and disrupted international syndicates, long exploiting weaknesses in the system. The improvement is expected to boost output and restore investor confidence. Just last week, the oil regulator projected Nigeria's production could surpass 2.5 million barrels per day next year. Oil prices rose on Monday as traders weigh the prospect of tighter U.S. sanctions and continued Ukrainian strikes on Russian energy infrastructure, heightening concerns over potential supply disruptions. Brent crude futures climbed $1.20 or 1.77% to $68.93 per barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude advanced $1.29 to $64.95. And to the equities market, the Nigerian stock market closed in positive territory today, with the all-share index rising to 141,439.77 points, reflecting sustained investor interest across key sectors. A total of 33,342 deals were recorded as traders exchanged 591.25 million units of shares valued at 11.66 billion naira. Meanwhile, the market capitalization of listed equities stood at 89.49 trillion naira, underscoring the resilience of the market despite mixed sentiments in the broader economy. In the aggregate, 129 NGX listed equities participated in trading, ending with 40 gainers and 17 losers. Well, it's time to introduce, break. Najat will continue with more stories after the break.